Hello everyone, it's Tana. Welcome back to Adventures in Crafting. Today we're going to make some Lucky or St. Patrick's Day cards. The first Good Luck and the gnome you saw, those are both from Simon Says Stamp. That second Good Luck is from MFT. I'll have everything that's still available in the description box below. That triple clover or shamrock is from Simon. And this very twirly shamrock is from Trinity Stamps. I don't remember the names of any of them, but like I said, they'll be in the description box below. And that's my favorite, very first Irish stamp set there by Your Next Stamp. I have ink blended 3 panels here, and I'll show you the stencils that I used. So we're on a different day now. Right after I got 60 seconds into filming the voiceover, or recording the voiceover, my microphone died. Yep, so I had to wait. So here I'm going to show you the stencils I used on those 3 ink blended backgrounds and the names of them. Can't remember the names of those either. So don't worry, like I said, everything will be in the description box below. So I believe this stamp set was called Gnome Lucky, or Gnome, Lucky Gnome maybe. This already has 3 layers on it, and then I took the colored layer and added it to the top. And there's a bonus card in today's video. You'll see it when it comes up at the end. It was a card I never finished from last St. Patrick's Day, so I finished it up and added it to the cards for this year's video. And after saying that I would do more videos in the year 2024, my phone went and broke. That's why it's been so long since the last video I posted. So let's see if we can get a better track record going here now that I've replaced my phone. So here I'm making an extra gnome with that die from Simon Says Stamp. I had one already made, but I was going to make one more thinking I would use it on the front of one of these cards. I did not, but I did place it on the inside of one of the cards, but I can't remember if I showed that at the end or not. I believe half the cards I made had inside stamped and half did not. So I just took that Lucky word and adhered it with my Barely Arts glue. That's what's in that little bottle there, to the center of that clover heart stenciled background. And that stencil's from Trinity Stamps. That I do know. There's the gnome I glued together there. Simple but cute. I like the way all of these cards turned out. So here I'm going to wash off a piece of acetate. We're going to make 2 shaker cards in this video. I believe there's 6 cards by the end of the video, 5 or 6. It's pretty sad when you can't even remember how many cards you made, but I will say I am feeling much better, you guys. After a year full of infections in my leg, being sick on and off, and being in the hospital constantly, I feel better now than I have in like a year. I've already made more cards in 2024 than I did in all of last year. Okay, getting back to the video. So I'm chatting away and I'm not telling you anything about the cards we're making. We're cutting acetate to fit first the shamrock piece, which I cut that out using the Trinity Stamps shamrock die. And then I use this little horseshoe that came in the Your Next Stamp set. And I fussy cut every single one. I do not have the dies for that. But I thought it would make a cute background on this card. So I did them in the colors of the Irish flag, the flag of Ireland. Green, white, and orange. Not necessarily in that order. I think it's in that order, but I can't remember. And I placed those all around the card, and then I cut off the excess on these 3 here and used those to fill in the empty spots. 1 on each side of the card, to the left and to the right. And then 2 little feet off the horseshoe, placed it next to that very same horseshoe at the bottom of the card. And then we'll fit, as you can see there's already acetate drying on the second shaker card, even though I did not show it. There was just too much to do with so many cards to show every single thing. You guys would have lost interest in the video 10 minutes in. So we kind of skip here and there and skip the less important stuff. Now this clover, I can't remember what it's called, but this clover die from Simon Says Stamp has 2 layers to it. So after I put the gold frame into the shamrock card, you can see I already put the gold frame into the triple clover card. And then there's another layer that goes inside of that. So I'm putting back the layer of the ink blended background. So it has some gold separating it. Oh, I didn't glue it in yet. So there, now it's glued in. And then we'll put in that layer that goes back for the ink blended background with a little bit of separation of gold in between. So much gluing on these cards, I'll tell you. It was kind of hard for me with my shaky hands. So much medication, my hands shake sometimes, so I had a little bit of a hard time getting back into its spot, but I did complete it. On this shaker card, I'm trying to use up the rest of my Heavy Doodle double height foam tape in a 1/4 inch wide. I do love the stuff. I love it that it's 1/4 inch wide, but I've had it so long that I have to use glue on it to make sure it sticks and doesn't fall apart in the mail. And it's so hard to keep the acrylic blocks on it while it dries because it's just so skinny. It's hard to keep it balanced. And then I took the Trinity Stamps little skinny foam strips and I went around the shamrock for the shaker card. And that stuff's pretty high, so I didn't have to double that up. And I used it for the entire card. It's a lot of little foam strips, let me tell you. But I didn't want to use a different foam tape and have it be a different height. So we went with the same height all the way across and called it good. Now I'm switching back and forth because I have to wait for those Heavy Doodle strips to dry before I can go in and add more. Now I just chose a green background for the shamrock card. I believe it has like little dark green lines on light green background. Yeah. And you really don't even notice it in there. So just anything you have, green, whatever, ink blended would be fine. It was a little fast to show you those shaker elements there, but I have some different colored greens from a honeybee succulent garden, I believe it was called, sequin set. Some yellow gold seed beads. They're kind of large though, the larger ones. And then this money. I think it was called Piggy Bank from Trinity Stamps. I took out all the dollar bills and only used the coins. Super cute. It's a good embellishment for St. Patrick's Day shaker cards. Glued that on there. Adhered it, excuse me. Now it's dry and it shakes like a charm. I also added, I forgot about these, I took my gold metallic paper that I cut some of my sentiment dies out of, and I used my hole punch, punched out all the extra before I threw the piece in the garbage, and then just glued them back to back so if they happen to flip over you wouldn't see white, and I added those in as well for shaker bits, because who doesn't love a little bit of gold in their lucky St. Patrick's Day shaker card. Now this one's going to have a gold background. This is the very same gold that I cut those hole punched gold pieces out with. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere that. Now when I was adhering these, it did not occur to me that there was probably much easier ways to do this with my shaker bits. Like for say maybe put them into the window of the shaker card and put another piece of acetate over it and then glue it to my background, so I didn't have to go through all the trouble of trying to make sure I wasn't gluing it together with my shaker bits stuck underneath my foam tape. But you know, you do what you can when you're thinking of it. But I thought I'd pass along that tip because I've never thought of it before. Not until I was gluing it together, or after I was gluing it together when I was doing the voiceover, did I think about it. On to the next card. Here we have the rainbow background, I believe. Yep. I think this one's called Feeling Lucky, and it's from Stamp Anything. And then I took that Trinity Stamp shamrock die cuts out a lot of layers. And And this very twirly, delicate shamrock was part of that. So I added that to the background there. Took the Good Luck die from MFT, cut that out of the same gold, and then glued that in the upper right hand corner, and then put my little gnome down in the bottom left. And don't worry, we will embellish all of these cards at the end. Well, you'll see what they look like with embellishments on them. I don't put you through the torture of gluing all the embellishments on while you're watching. My cat's, I don't know if you could hear that, but she's freaked out by the rain and the thunder outside. And she is, that's her, zooming back and forth, getting stuck on the rug, then sliding on the kitchen floor. Getting no traction, going nowhere. I'm sorry. It's just so funny to watch. Back to the cards. There's another one of those delicate shamrocks that came out of those shamrock dies from Trinity. And that this time I took the Good Luck from Simon Says stamp. I didn't use the shadow dies in any of these cards. I didn't think we needed them. And we're going to go ahead and put that down below the shamrock this time. I believe it was this card that I put the extra gnome inside of. There she goes again. Now we're going to glue our sentiments on. I have You Are My Lucky Charm to add to this card here, and I kind of fussy cut, bubble cut it out myself. Then I used Kiss Me, I'm Irish from the Your Next stamp set for the second shaker card. And there's that bonus card right there, the one with the frog on it. I had no line colored the rainbow and whatnot, and Copic colored the frog, and it was just a simple card that I never quite put together. So here's all my cards with their little embellishments on them. Most of them have those little tiny shamrocks from Trinity, which did go in the second shaker, but I unfortunately forgot that I had them, so they didn't go into the first shaker card. The inside of this card says Happy St. Patrick's Day. So does this one. And I don't think I showed you the inside of this one. That one says, let the shenanigans commence, I believe. And I don't think there's anything inside that card. I hope you guys liked what you saw here today. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you did, and then hit the bell so you can be aware of all the new videos coming out. I promise there's going to be a lot more this year than there was last year. I'm feeling fine, folks. It's time to get this party going. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.